I don't need him in my football. Like, I don't want you, Black Adam. I don't want you in my football. You know what I mean? you stay on the big
Black
screen.
Adam into this?
And now, it's time for the Sticks and Stones podcast. Just like the barbershop, but with better hair. Stick City, stand the fuck up. And now, here's your hosts, Jeremy Barnes and Corbin Shepard. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
All right, welcome back. We're back here another week, another Sticks and Stones episode. I'm with your boy Corbin and me.
It is I.
Yep, it is him. He is him, as they say. And I am me. So last week we kind of delved into the, I guess, top 3 dating apps. We didn't really get into it and we teased it. So we'll jump into it now just to kind of go into it. But we've got some other topics, mostly sporting, news and whatnot. And we'll get through that. But I guess we can talk about some dating apps and what you would rate. I'm going to ask you, since you're the single man, what your top 3 dating apps would be.
Excuse me. Top 3. I'd say, okay, so I'd say the number one's probably Bumble. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just quality-wise, we'll go with quality of app. It's got to be probably the best. And now that we're talking about this, I do remember that we had talked about this before in season 1 of our podcast.
Right.
So, yeah, Bumble, I'd say for sure, hands down, best dating app. It's just the way it works is good. Plus, it's just the quality of how do I say this? The quality of the people on there are better as well. So
yeah, why is that?
Yeah,
Why is that?
I just I don't know why that is, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's like because it's more of a female-driven app. Like, okay, when you match with somebody, the female has to reach out to you, so it kind of cuts down a little bit on weirdos and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, whereas there's some chicks that don't want to message first, so then they find themselves on other apps waiting for dudes to inbox them hot dog pictures. So,
Right.
I don't know. It just seems like the best, classier stock on there.
Right. Give me 1 second. That light gets a little hot. All right. It is a classier app for sure. It seems what I remember, and that's if no one knows, or I guess I'll let you guys in how me and Amanda met. We met through Bumble. So that was I would say, and I would agree with you, it is probably the best app. Because of the fact that females can definitely initiate the conversation. So you kind of know that it's like starting out serious, I guess.
Yeah.
In some facet. But like you said, it cuts down on the bullshit. And then like you don't have bots on there, I don't think, if I remember correctly. I never ran into any bots.
No, you don't. That's the other thing I've noticed with some of the other dating apps. As soon as you get on there, like immediately you've got like a bunch of matches, that's not how it works. And then
you just got on there and you were Don Julio.
as soon as you have these matches, then you get inboxes, and all it is just like it's bots or something that's I feel pretty new. Hooking. Like some of these apps are basically the new Craigslist.
New age hookers. What you saying?
I mean, no, seriously, like, um, I had, oh man, somebody got offended, and like, this was within like 10 minutes of talking. Match inbox, boom, hey, what's up? How you doing? Blah blah blah, blase blase. Well, hey, would you be interested in content or meeting up? I was just like, I don't think that's what I'm looking for, but I appreciate it. Oh, you ain't trying to hook up. You don't want to see this. I was just like, nah, block. It's turning into a business.
Yeah, I remember Will, when I lived with him in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
He was on, I don't know if it was Plenty of Fish or one of the other ones, like where
Plenty of Fish is fucking
whatever
dumpster.
it is that you get near people, and that's how you can, I guess, swipe on one another. You have to be near them in like a vicinity. But
I thought that's how all of them worked.
no, well, yeah,
Like,
but this one was like you cross paths like very close. Like, say you would like go to work and they had the app, you then would show up in their queue, but it had to be like specifically close,
right.
which was weird. That already started it out was weird, but then like, anyways, he was on there, and there was some super suspect shit. Like, so it was one of the apps that had like video first, and like you said, it was a business venture because she was showing what she was doing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And that's I mean, I get it. I mean, because don't get me wrong, I would venture to say there's probably dudes that are on there for that, but I don't know. It is, dating apps are basically the most consistent way to meet people nowadays, as people are getting married later in life versus getting married at like 17, 18, 19 right out of high school and all that other shit.
Right.
People are working, staying in school longer, and it's just it's become the new going out to the bar or whatever kind of thing.
Well, with COVID and everything too, that kind of.
Well, yeah, seriously, yeah. So, I mean, I'd say Bumble's number one. Tinder's in there. Tinder's all right, but that's one of the ones that's like you don't know what you're gonna get if somebody inboxes you. So, those are pretty much the only two. There's Plenty of Fish is kind of like the Dollar General of dating apps. Do you know what I mean?
The Aldi's?
Bumble is like Target. You know what I mean? Bumble's Target on a Saturday at like 11 a.m. You know what I mean? That's Bumble.
All is quiet on the home front.
Yeah. So, whereas Plenty of Fish is trash. Tinder is like Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walmart.
Anytime I was ever on there, man, it was you didn't know what you were getting.
Hinge. Isn't Hinge one?
Yeah.
I've never used Hinge. I would assume it's.
I think Hinge is the one
those.
that you may have to like be in a vicinity of one another, like very close.
Nah, I'll pass on that. No, I don't know. I think we're about to get rid of them though, because it's almost it's a distraction from other things.
Yeah, I'm sure you do spend a lot of time on there.
I mean, it's
not that. It's when you match with someone.
Well, yeah, but like you start talking to somebody, and then it's like really you don't get on there, so it's like you might as well delete it, or like I have them, but I'm not really using them because I'm so busy working, or maybe I did meet somebody. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Right. I mean, the last couple you've dated, probably you've met through the apps.
Let's see. Yeah, yes for the last one. Yes for the one before that. Instagram for the one before her.
Oh yeah.
Just like mutual, like powerlifting shit, and then Hudson's mom. Yeah, yeah. So,
All right. Well, I mean,
3 out of 4.
it's a digital age, man. Remember when
Everybody
was weird?
settled down. Though that spans like 5 years. So
Well, yeah.
chill out.
I mean,
chill your shit.
Most of the girls I dated even when I was in the military, that was how I met them. I mean, I don't know that area.
It gets wild on the Air Force Base. I have to be out there like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you get some stupid stuff out there.
I told you
sure.
about the one chick last year during football season.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
I don't think I remember. I don't know. Maybe
she was catcalling me.
I mean,
it was I don't know. It was a bit much.
She just wanted to meet the big ambassador, Corbin Shepard.
She was all right. But yeah,
all
those
right.
dating apps, I don't know. Not as
Part
hyped
2
on it as I was last week because I was ready to like talk some mad shit. But last week we had some bad stuff go down right before the episode. So I think, that's a story we'll get into. It won't be today. But I feel like eventually once I heal from that and mentally get past it and the traumas wore off a bit, I'll be able to talk about it. But right now it's just a bit too traumatizing.
We need you to talk about it. But we'll wait.
Eventually.
We'll tease it now, but we'll wait.
Eventually.
Right now, I currently have behind me the NBA playoffs on. And
do you really?
Yeah. Boston is laying it the fuck down.
I have not watched a single playoff game.
I mean, I'll watch bits and pieces. I haven't watched a whole game. Now that we're getting in the conference finals, like Eastern and Western, I mean, I'll start paying attention a little bit more. I think that if I had to pick a team right now, I'd probably say the Celtics are going to win it all.
You think so?
Yeah, right now they're laying it down on Miami, which I kind of figured. They did the same thing last series. I think they lost that first game like substantially, and then the rest of the series, I think they lost like one more game, but they handled that fucking series. Well, no, they lost 3 games because they went to Game 7. Sorry about that. But I felt like their toughest test so far was their last series, but I think just Jason Tatum looks on a different level. He's budding into a superstar, and the rest of the team is good. Al Horford has stepped up. I mean, he's old as shit, but the dude has figured out something. I don't know what it is, but he's figured out something. So right now, if I had to pick one team, and I had to put money on the house, it's going Celtics. But
I can see that. That's what I've heard. I honestly haven't been paying any attention to any of it, and it's just I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've been trying to get more into baseball or whatever, but I just haven't been as interested. It may be because LeBron's not in it, because that's generally the only reason I've watched basketball in the last I don't know how many years is because of him. So
I will say the state of the league is in its best shape. Like, I mean, you have a star on almost every team except maybe 2 or 3, but every team has like a superstar on it.
Right.
And I mean it's good for the league for sure. I mean, Bron's only got probably 3 to 4 more years, if that.
I think the same? I mean, is it the same thing? He just wants to be able to play with his son, and then he's good.
Well, that's what he keeps saying. When his son is due to be drafted, he's going to go wherever his son is drafted.
Right.
So you know what's going to happen. I mean, we're going to call this already how it is. His son's going to go number 1 because of the sheer fact that if LeBron is still in prime shape, still putting down 30 a night or close to it, you know that franchise wants him. So they're going to take Bronny. Even if the guy behind Bronny was way better, they get Bronny and Big Bron. I mean, he's going to get picked for that sheer fact.
Right.
But I mean, Bronny's pretty good. I don't know if right now he's like a number 1 pick, but he's still got, I think, 2 more years till he's eligible.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. I think it was 2 more years. I think so.
I'm pretty sure. If it's not, it's 3 at most.
It would definitely be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be a first ever, wouldn't it?
As far as father-son duo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the NBA, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had it with Ken Griffey and senior and junior in baseball.
That reminds me of something I was not expecting from the Steelers, which, I mean, I'm not mad about it because he's decent.
You guys got every brother combo in the NFL almost.
So I knew Hayward's brother played for Michigan State, right? He's tight end, fullback.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, man, he's gonna be in the, he's eligible for the draft this year. Not in a million years did I think the Steelers were gonna pick him up, and I think it was their last pick or second to last pick.
I think he was like in the 6th or 7th round, somewhere around there.
But it was just cool to see. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with him.
Who else did they have? They have 2 other brother combinations.
So you've got Derek Watt and TJ.
Yeah.
I believe Derek's still there. And then you have the Edmonds. Trey Edmonds and
not Chase, because Chase is on Dolphins. I don't even know if they're related.
They may not be on the same. They may not both be on the Steelers anymore, but they were.
I'm pretty sure the last I checked, that video or the pictures that ESPN posted, they had like 3 sets of brothers.
Yeah, that would be the only other one I can think of.
Fucking all you need is the McCourty twins now, dude.
That'd
be all right. Pass. Why? I mean, they're old now, right? They're pretty old.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they may be retired. Let's check. Let's fact check here.
Twins.
But
it's storming. What a night. What a night.
Yeah, we're night casting tonight. That's the other thing.
Right.
First time. But I think we're in halftime of the game, and Boston's up.
Yeah.
I think by almost 20.
Oh, they're up. Yeah, they're up by 25.
Steelers brothers. Pittsburgh Steelers made history in 2021 when they had not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of brothers all on their rosters at the same time. TJ Watt, Derek Watt, Terrell, and Trey Edmonds, Carlos, and Khalil Davis. And now they have 4 because they have the Haywards.
Yep. Now that's considering all 8 of them dudes are still there. Now, obviously TJ is there. Derek, I'm pretty sure they haven't let him go. Which Edmonds did you say was Trey, right?
Trey and I just moved over to the McCourty twin. Carlos. No, so Carlos and Khalil Davis, Trey Edmonds, and Terrell Edmonds.
Yeah, because Terrell Edmonds is the DB.
Yes, you are correct.
That one came out slow.
It's all right. Nope. Jason McCourty is still playing. I don't know.
Is he really?
Yeah, and Devin McCourty is not retiring after the 2021 season. Hang on. I don't know. Long-time New England Patriots safety Devin McCourty Twitter reaction said it all after the news came out that he no longer will be playing for the team. As his brother, after 3 seasons in New England, cornerback Jason McCourty is leaving to join the Dolphins. This was his May 6th, 2021, so that was last year.
Right.
So I think they're playing. Either way, I mean, they're getting up there. They're close to retiring. But as far as some MLB news, we've seen that Trevor Bauer has been suspended, I believe, for 2 years for his involvement.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's just so the MLB does it by games, but the way they did it, basically, it's like 300 and some games, so it equals out to 2 full years of suspension.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
As of April 29th, MLB suspended Trevor Bauer for 2 seasons after completing an investigation into sexual assault allegations. So Rob Manfred, whatever you want to call him, the commissioner of the MLB, basically told Trevor, "You're out of here for 2 years, dude."
Right.
And the reason why, if you don't know, he was in a sexual assault allegation. Trevor's been very vocal on Instagram. If you don't follow him, that's what Trevor's always been.
Right.
As far as MLB guys don't talk much. They don't have a lot of character. They're not supposed to. If they do, you kind of get blackballed in a sense because nobody really wants to deal with you.
Right.
If you don't remember what got Trevor out of Cleveland, he threw a ball over center field when I don't know if he was having a bad outing, but when Terry Francona came out to pull him out, he fucking chucked the ball like a crazy madman over center field. Then apologized, and then was traded to the Cincinnati Reds, and I believe played there for 1.5, 2 years. In his last year there, he had a Cy Young year. I mean, fucking balled out. Got to the playoffs, played Atlanta, got smoked. He was the best pitcher of the series, but as always, the Reds can't hit the ball. I think they only amassed like 4 fucking hits for the whole series, but either way.
Yeah.
Trevor left, went to become a Dodger because he's an LA kid. Got out to LA, and then news broke that he was punching chicks in the ass while he was getting down.
Well,
that's what was said.
Right.
So go ahead.
He admitted to. So what happened is this chick came forward with like all these allegations, like you said. Basically, she had said that he was too physical with her, and it was unconsensual, which isn't true, because everything that he did, she had asked for via text, and he still had all those texts.
Oh yeah.
Which is how he legally is how he got out of everything, or I shouldn't even say got out of everything, but legally that's how he was able to build his defense against this scallywag, was by basically it was based off of the text messages, and there was nothing that they could do.
Right. And Trevor
was trying to hem old boy up.
Trevor posted these texts, like legit, not doctored. Posted them.
Yeah.
On IG, let the world see, and didn't hold back. I mean, this dude laid it all out.
I'd have done the same thing.
Well, after the court session was over and the hearing and all that, he has every right to if he wants to.
Right.
But Robert Manfred still gave him the old Ezekiel Elliott treatment after the fact and suspended him for 2 years. Meanwhile, Did you see what Matt Harvey got? And do you know about Matt Harvey's story?
No, not really, because that just happened, didn't it?
Well, what happened did not just happen, but the suspension just came out.
Yes.
I believe that Matt Harvey's situation happened 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Matt Harvey was suspended for 60 games for distributing a drug of abuse under MLB's drug program.
Mm-hmm.
He gave, let's see.
But somebody died, though.
Right. He gave Oxy to one of his teammates when he was on the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And that teammate ended up overdosing and died. And they did an investigation. They ended up finding out in court that Matt Harvey, under oath, admitted to giving. I want to get this guy's name so I can at least sound like what I'm talking about. Matt.
It's something
Harvey.
Skaggs, I think.
Yeah, I want to say Skaggs too.
Yeah. Tyler Skaggs.
Yep.
He's a pitcher.
Yeah. So he gave Tyler Skaggs some Oxy because Tyler Skaggs was hooked on it as well with Matt Harvey. Which Oxy basically makes you focus, correct?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't know what
Not
it
sure.
would do for baseball terms. But either way,
He may have gotten it for like an injury or something and then just
Something
got
like
hooked
that.
on it. Because they're always, I mean, pitchers are always in pain as far as their arms, elbows, shoulders go. So,
right. But either way, Tyler Skaggs ended up dying. They found out that Matt Harvey was the one that gave it to him, and Robert Manfred only gave him 60 games.
yeah, which is absolutely crazy.
And I mean, that was under fucking oath, like
That's
in
not
a
even a
court. And he
Full
was
season.
no, that's not even. I mean, what is that? A third?
About
Yeah,
between
yeah.
between half and a third of the season. I mean, and that's like so. And that was one of Trevor Bauer's things was that this was in California where distributing drugs is a felony, especially the drug that he was distributing, amongst even just having it yourself and taking it. So it's like I think there's some favoritism going on.
Well, there's
Maybe.
definitely. Yeah. Well, I mean,
feel-
I don't know if it's a favoritism, but it's definitely there's validity behind Trevor Bauer's bitching. I mean that, and that's not even bitching. It's basically just being factual and saying this is bullshit. Like, why are you suspending me 2 years? Like, yeah, I mean,
Now, can he appeal it?
I believe he is appealing now.
Okay.
How long that process will take, I don't know.
Probably a year.
Basically. Okay, well, you did.
Probably,
I
yeah.
mean, and the thing is he kind of took the Deshaun Watson route and sat out the year because they told him, hey, we're just going to put you basically on what's called commissioner exempt list, something like it
Yep.
for baseball. And till your situation's figured out, we just don't want you around because it's
Right.
we need to make sure both sides are doing justice and as far as if it was what happened, let's just, distance ourselves. Which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that, and I get it. Just like Deshaun, I don't know. And nothing's come about that, like as far as him putting it out there, even after the fact. Because I'm pretty sure legally he can't be found guilty in any of those for Deshaun.
He can't.
Now, but he is still dealing with paying some out. My understanding.
Yes, I believe so. As far as like civil court goes, I think.
Yes.
So with Trevor, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it's because he's always kind of been a hothead and like he's had issues with other teams but at the same time I still feel half a season is steep, maybe like 30 games or some shit. Seems more appropriate because of all
After
the mess.
sitting out
And
for
then
a
you can,
year.
like, yeah, time served. Like you sat out for a year while all this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You were acquitted of everything. Like you gave old girl what she was asking for. Come on back.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's a
I think it'll be
situation.
interesting.
Right. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen with this?
It'll be interesting to see because he got way more than what I feel like he deserved, but this one, dude, I mean, he could be done in the league forever for this shit. He killed somebody. Somebody died.
He distributed. Yes.
Yeah. So
Right.
it'll be interesting. I don't know. I think it's gonna be kind of crazy.
Matt Harvey there for a while was a pretty dominant pitcher. So yeah, like you said, it'll be interesting to see what happens with both sides, Matt Harvey and Trevor Bauers.
Right. Now, and I just thought of this because we were talking about them like always being in pain and stuff like that. Are pitchers like the running backs of the MLB?
I wouldn't say that because their careers can last.
Their careers are pretty long, right? But I feel like pitchers take the most beating.
Oh, for sure. Besides catchers,
and I mean
catchers.
Well, yeah,
catchers need to get blown out.
Yeah, that's
quick.
true too. I didn't think about that.
I mean, for the most part, yeah, a pitcher. If you don't have a Tommy John surgery at this point, you've kind of lucked out. Because, I mean, everybody's getting Tommy John surgery like once in their career. And, I mean, with sports medicine, it's easy to come back from now. It's like an ACL where it's just like, oh, it's a rite of passage.
Where it used to not be very easy to come back from.
It was a career ender. I mean, dudes were done. Because back then, they didn't know what the fuck to do with your elbow. It was just fucking flailing around and shit.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and I don't know, man. Baseball in general, I would like to continue to get into more because I find it interesting. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I don't know. I feel like I'm enjoying it a little bit more. It's not so boring. Like when I was a kid, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, it's a fun sport. As you get older, and I mean, you want things to kind of slow down. It's a sport that you can just sit back, like we talked last week, and have it on, and it'd be background noise, and you're like,
yes,
whatever.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit down every single night and watch it, but especially with the Reds being ass and throwing a no-hitter and still losing.
Gotta find you a new team. Speaking of like boring sports to watch, there was this thing that popped up. It was some type of thing on Instagram, and they showed Tiger Woods walking out, like for the Masters or whatever's going on right now. Yeah. And this dude had a shirt on with Tiger's mugshot on it, and Tiger looked at him and started laughing. And the dude was elated. He was pumped. He was like, he's seen the shirt. He's seen the shirt. And you can clearly see like Tiger look at it and just start smirking and laughing. It was pretty cool.
He side-eyed it. He was like,
yeah, Tiger went through some shit, man.
Even at my lowest point.
I mean, crazy. He went through some shit. Like, and to still be
even able to play.
Right, to still be in it as he is, and I mean, Tiger's still the best. I assume. I'm pretty sure he is.
I don't think he's world number one ranking, but I mean, the dude's a formidable golfer still.
Right. Who's number one? Like, who are some other big golfers? I don't.
Who is the current PGA number one player in the world?
Roy McIlroy from Happy Gilmore.
Scotty Scheffler. I think that's correct. Yep, top 100 golfers by world ranking. Scotty Scheffler is currently 9.753. John Rahm is an 8.2. Where is Tiger Woods?
He's not on. I mean,
I can control F it.
He's not even in the top 10, is he?
Tiger, no, hang on. Hell no, he ain't in the top 10. I mean, the dude took off a year. He's probably not even in the top 100, to be honest. Now.
Yikes.
Which, I mean, that's just because of relevancy. He hasn't played, but, like, maybe once.
I mean, at this point, he's just playing just because he's bored, I feel. You know what I mean?
I mean, the man's still a billion-dollar athlete.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
The
So, I mean,
first
it's like-
billion-dollar athlete.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I think he was the first, and then don't quote me on it, but I think either LeBron or Cristiano Ronaldo.
That sounds, yeah. Because that Christian dude's a soccer player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For all the soccer fans out there, I
For
got
the
that right. You're
football.
welcome.
Michael Jordan, Vince McMahon,
Soccer. That's
Ion
soccer.
Tirick, Anna Kasperzak, Tiger Woods, Eddie Jordan, who the hell? Junior Bridgman, and Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi's also, yeah.
My favorite golfer, John Daly.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
John Daly he is an absolute machine. That dude is,
You know where he's from?
I mean, Georgia, maybe? I don't know.
You're close.
Florida?
Try more to your west.
Mississippi?
A little bit more.
Alabama? What?
A little bit more.
To the west?
Yep.
Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. Oh, yeah, that's right. He is from Arkansas. I forgot about that.
Hey, man. You're going to get us arrested, dude.
Dude is but no, he's wild.
Have you seen his son?
He's a wild dude. Oh yeah, his son's supposed to be pretty fucking good too.
He's a spitting image of him. Just
yeah, looks just like him, just not as like beer bellied yet. You know what I mean? But he looks just like his dad.
He's pretty close already.
But seeing those
Well, he's on
videos of
his
him
way.
like walk out there in shorts, like with his polo tucked in, he's burning down a Marlboro Red, and he's fucking barefoot. Fucking just
Fucking
jamming.
backwoods as can be, dude. Backwoods
It's
as can
crazy,
be.
but I mean, he's hilarious there. John Daly's awesome to watch, and there's always a lot of fun, like because Pat McAfee's a big fan of his. So when them two got to do like the celebrity golf thing together,
All right.
that shit was
Oh,
great.
yeah. I'm sure
Only
that
time
was-
golf was enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm sure. Pat's doing really well. He's killing it.
He's doing amazing. Yeah,
on YouTube. I mean, his match at WrestleMania was actually pretty fucking good.
it's insane what he's done with his career since leaving football.
Yeah.
And I mean, just
All from a YouTube show.
yeah, and
Maybe
utilizing the
one day.
connections from from playing football, and then just like magnifying, just building off of that like crazy. And he's a genius though.
He's very clever. I mean, I like
Yeah.
watching him on YouTube.
Oh yeah, his Instagram's great,
His
especially during football season.
Oh yeah. He's great on Friday night on SmackDown because he's a commentator now,
Yep.
and I mean he's funny as shit. I mean, there's no denying it. And then I mean on the
No.
show he has all his buddies, and they have that
Oh, yeah.
fucking FanDuel deal, and they're killing it. I mean they get to gamble free money, and FanDuel has bought them their studio, I believe now.
Pretty much. And so I know that he has his podcast, his YouTube show podcast, but he also has he has a live radio show now that he's had for
Well, it's the podcast on top of it. So they've
Right.
signed a deal with XM on Sirius Radio or whatever, and the first 2 hours of the YouTube show is on Sirius, and the last hour they just do strictly on YouTube.
okay.
And I mean,
that because there for a while he actually had the live like almost like he was in New York or some shit. You know what I mean? Like the Howard Stern building or whatever.
I mean, that's in Indianapolis.
Yeah. So it's just been cool to see like his rise through everything and him building like basically a media like just a powerhouse, and then putting his people on, all the people he came up with from Pittsburgh. Amazing.
Right. All his buddies. I mean, he
Yep.
clearly states that if you watch it every day or anytime on YouTube, he always plays this fucking commercial clip where I'm not no fake ass bullshit wannabe, you know, and it's just basically how any of us would run a show on YouTube if we blew up.
Oh,
you know
hell
what I mean?
yeah.
You know,
Right.
and I mean, we kind of, I don't know if we give off the same mantra, but I mean, it's just the shit we grew up on in the 90s. You know, he's a big wrestler, you know, a WWE, WWF guy. I mean, that's what he always wanted to be growing up. And he did that shit when he was on the field. He would, like, I remember the one punt where he put on the 1 yard line and he fucking did the Razor Ramon. He was like, you know, and shit. It's just funny shit like that. Like, if you knew what he was doing, you're like, all right, like this, I fuck with this dude. He's funny.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
As a punter, you're like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, who the fuck?
Well,
he
right.
is?
But I think he's the one that started like making punters cool and shit while he was in the league. But even now, not being in the league,
he lifts his other punters up.
Yeah, like especially like during football season, his Instagram is super super funny.
Right.
So it's that's where that like for the brand shit came from, as far as like kickers having badass plays, whether it's like a touchdown or like a trick play or a kicker tackling somebody or whatever.
Right.
So it's pretty cool to see his shit blow up.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could gamble on shit like that. Like what he does.
Here
He's
soon.
just what,
soon.
January 1st, 2023?
First, yeah. Yep. First of next year, we'll be able to gamble in Ohio.
Daddy's going to be putting down 16-cent, 16-leg parlays every weekend. I'm going to be like, come on, baby. You know, stupid bets for, like, minimal money. For
but it'll make
extraordinary.
things a little bit more interesting. I think it'll make things a lot more fun.
Bro, that's what all I did.
How much fun we had. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like how much fun we had when you were in Vegas, and I was sending you like, okay, I want to do this, and this on NFL, and then this and this and this on college. It just made the whole day.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. I think it was like 6 a.m. my time, but your ass called me 4 times to get a bet in.
I'm like, I gotta get these. I was like,
dude,
and I'm like,
wake the fuck up.
Like, why are you not up yet? I was just like, oh yeah, my bad. It's pretty early there.
I remember I answered and you were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm fucking sleeping. It's 6 a.m. You're like, what? No, it ain't. And I was like, dude, I'm on West Coast time, dude.
Yeah, it's my bad.
Yeah. Like you called like
Double.
4 fucking times in a row. It was wild.
I mean,
I was like, what is this dude? Is somebody
bad.
dying? No, it was just, I mean, that's my own fault. Because I was like, dude, we can place bets. Just send me your fucking bets and I'll do it, you know?
Well, I could have done, I don't know. I think I could have done them the night before. I just hadn't, I hadn't fucked with it or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Leave it to me to get it at 9 a.m. Your time.
Right.
Fuck that guy, dude. Yeah, he'll wake up.
Right.
No, it was good times though, man. I remember I tell this story a lot to anybody that asks me what I did when I was out there. But I would do like, I'm legit 16-leg parlays, 8-leg parlays. That's all I would do on Saturdays and Sundays during football season.
Right.
And I would put like $10 down. And if anybody that doesn't know how to bet, basically a parlay is you're stacking. And if it, say I did an 8-leg parlay, you're picking 8 games and you're picking the winner, lose, you know, whatever, spread. I would just do straight ups, like who would win. And the way to make your bet exponentially higher is to pick an underdog to win. And I was pretty damn good at, picking games, especially college for some reason that year. And I got all the way down to my 8th leg. So my 8th game, last game of the night, Stanford versus San Diego State. I remember this. I remember this because it hurts. I would have won. I think I put $10 down, and I would have won. I think it was like 10 grand. And I took Stanford to win. So Stanford was the favorite. The other games I picked, like I took Miami over Cincinnati, like Miami Redhawks, not the U. Like took them to beat them, and that game was fucking wild because it was like back and forth. Miami ended up winning. Don't ask me how I picked it.
That shit was crazy.
And I was like, this is going to happen, dude. Like, that game, that was the game I needed to get over. And I got it. So I was like, the rest is a breeze. Mind you, Stanford and San Diego State were on West Coast time. So you were, like, well in bed, because I think it was 2 your time. And it was, like, 11 my time. And the game, I couldn't find the game on TV. It was on the bottom line. And the fourth quarter had 2 minutes left. For like fucking 30 minutes. So I was like, what the fuck's going on in this game? I got on my phone. The power went out. They were playing in Qualcomm Stadium, the Chargers' old stadium, and the power went out. And San Diego State was getting a kickoff because Stanford just scored to go ahead. And they were up by 2. So I was like, well, I'm fucked. Because I knew San Diego State was going to go down the field because they had a fucking extra at halftime. Drive down the fucking field and score. What'd they do? They drive down the fucking field, kicked the field goal, ruined my parlay. I remember Dan came home because he was living with me at the time. And he got off work and he's like, what's going on? He's like, how's it going? Because I was texting him all day. I was like, dude, this game's never going to end. You know, I explained it to him. And we sat there and watched it happen, like, over our phones. Because he was ready to go. He had his keys in his hand. We were like, we're going to go collect. We're going to go out for the night. And I was like, fuck yeah, we are, you know. No. San Diego State said, fuck you. And at that time, they didn't have the option to, like, cash out. So now, like, on your FanDuel, I don't know if you've seen that shit. Because I follow it. I follow BR Betting all the time. And on FanDuel, you can cash out. Like, say you finish 7 of the 8 legs, and you think the last leg isn't going to make it. They give you like cash out, like whatever they think is fair, and you could be like, boop. I can't wait.
This shit's gonna be good. This is gonna be really good.
It'll be good times then, because I'll be like, what's 16 cents? Who gives a shit? Because I'm over fantasy football. This last year, dude.
Yeah, this last year was a bit much.
Well, and that's partly my fault and the others' fault, you know. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know. Fuck it. We've had that discussion.
Yeah, we have.
Well, let's water under the bridge now. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying.
But I want to just go back to like 8-leg parlaying, man. Like cheap dollar bets, like, you know, what's better than staying up till 2 a.m. watching West Coast games?
Right. I mean, I think it'll be fun.
Oh no, I'll definitely bet on the NFL. I don't know if I'll touch college because we can get into
college
that
is
now.
Hard.
This is a good segue right there.
Yeah. Speaking of college, these motherfuckers, dude.
The last 2 days have been pretty wild as far as what's going on in college football. I guess Nick Saban was at some benefit or something, what the video looked like, and he was giving a speech, and somebody, I guess, may have asked him, you know, how do you feel about the whole Texas A&M being number 1 in recruiting? Well, Nick didn't hold back. Nick basically, you know, dragged him through the mud, and he just basically said that Texas A&M flat out bought all the recruits.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I didn't see that part, but I guess he also pulled in Deion Sanders for pulling in the number one recruit.
Yep.
Well,
for Jackson.
So, for those that don't know, NCAA has a NIL deal now, where recruits can make whatever the fuck whoever says, and they'll have. I mean, what was it? The dude that went to Ohio State.
It was a lot.
Ewers, Quinn Ewers,
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers. All right, Quinn Ewers comes to Ohio State, and his whole story was that he couldn't make NIL money in Texas because at that time, I don't know if it's changed, but in Texas, as a high school athlete, you cannot make NIL money.
Mm-mm.
But in Ohio, you could.
Yeah.
So he declared to come to Ohio State. Mind you, Quinn Ewers was the number one ranked prospect, highest ever. So, I was like, all right, this dude's going to be dope. Mind you, I didn't know the whole situation with Texas and what the fuck was going on, because I would have probably saw that and oh, this dude's just coming to make money.
Right.
Lo and behold, he did. I think he signed an NIL deal when he got there, and he made $1 million. Boom. And that's chump change to some of these guys, because some of these guys are making $4 million over the 4 years. That one dude just got a Lambo. He has a Lambo on lease. You have a couple Ohio State prospects I saw where they got trucks and cars from Mark Wahlberg's dealership. I mean,
Yeah.
the NIL deal essentially has opened Pandora's box.
Oh yeah.
And
for recruiting, for sure.
yeah, and any recruit can make X amount of money. There is no limit. And we've kind of talked about this, me and you and your brother through text, and I've talked to it about other people. But anyways, before we get into that, Jimbo Fisher shot back today or yesterday or something. The video came out today.
Yeah.
He went off on Saban because Saban basically said that, Texas A&M cheated. They bought their prospects. Mind you, anybody who really knows college football or in college basketball, they know
trash, man.
They know that those college coaches are the scummiest people on the planet. If you've ever watched Blue Chips, that's what it is. With Nick Nolte. I think that's a 1996 film. If you haven't watched it, Shaq's in it. It's a great film. Great film. But, I mean, Alabama's been buying players before buying players was legal. So, I mean, Nick Saban don't have a leg to stand on. He could sit there and say, oh, I've never done that. Bullshit.
Right.
We know better. We really know better.
Well, yeah.
So then, and Jimbo Fisher just goes off. Says that if anybody wants to know about him, they can dig up, and research him. And then they asked him about him working with Nick Saban. And Jimbo was just like, man, I'll never go back. A lot of guys go back. He's like, you learn from Bobby Bowden. You didn't learn from you-know-who. I mean, all direct shots. Well, then, Deion got on there today on one of the shows, or you posted it to me. I don't know where he said it, but the quote was basically, if we bought the guy, you would know. We would make sure.
Right.
And I mean, Deion got into some more shit, and that's for anybody to go read.
Well, basically said I'm sure you know how Deion is. Deion said, I haven't checked my phone. I'm sure it's been blowing up with calls from him wanting to talk about it personally, but he said what you said was public. He said, so if we have a conversation, which we need to have a conversation, it's going to be publicly, because that's how you started this whole thing, was publicly and not personally or privately,
Right.
excuse me. So, which I agree with him, because that's a pretty tough accusation for him to make, to say that they gave this kid $1 million to come play for Jackson, and that's the only reason that Jackson got him, when HBCUs have been pulling some higher recruits for the last 2 years.
Right.
And the funniest part of it is, this kid even posted on his Twitter, $1 million ? But my mom still lives in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids, and just a bunch of laughing faces. So it's just,
Right.
it's disrespectful. So, and that's, I think Deion's biggest thing is he feels super disrespected. His team, his organization, this kid.
Right.
So he for sure wasn't going to stand for it.
Nick's just mad that the playing field has been leveled.
Right. And this, I mean, look, you know how I am. I'm a big Nick Saban fan. But you could be watching, I mean, you could be seeing the dwindle of Alabama football here over the next couple of years as things start to even out. But more so, it's just, I feel like some of it, I'm not a huge believer in karma, but I mean, you can't get away with piping off like this and nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? Something's going to happen.
It's like the old Jesse Pinkett. He can't keep getting away with it. That's what I thought when I sat there. I was like, well, it all comes around, because he's been at it.
Yes.
I mean, he was at it at LSU. He was at it since he got to Bama, man. I mean, Bama wasn't nothing till he came around. I mean, I'm not taking away history. They obviously have history.
Right.
But before Nick, come on, man. What are we talking about?
Well, nothing. I mean, they weren't great
Not
before
much.
Nick, and that's right. So it's what he was able to do with that team. Don't get me, Nick Saban's hands down best college coach in history, right up to this point. But what he's been able to do with that team and other college teams, what he did with LSU when he was at LSU was nuts. So it's I mean, what he's done is part of history, and it always will be as far as college football goes. But at a certain point, things change in history. So
right, and I mean, like Jimbo was like, you call him God, like
right.
I mean, Jimbo wasn't holding back.
Jimbo's such a hillbilly, dude.
I don't like Jimbo no more than I like Saban either.
No, I can't really stand Jimbo Fisher, but I understand why he's upset. Don't get me wrong, but he's a clown. He's a clown too.
But I'm gonna say it right now. Jimbo could have the top recruiting class.
He's still ain't gonna be able to beat Saban.
They'll fuck it up.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Texas A&M ain't gonna be shit while he's there, and they're not. Texas A&M's not really ever gonna be shit. But Jimbo
they've
Fisher's
had some good. Right.
He's not that guy. You know what I mean? You're not that guy, pal.
Right.
He's not him. So.
No, it's interesting, and then the reason why it's so interesting is because they're pulling the curtain back on themselves and the NCAA.
Right. Just because they're pissed.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if the NCAA doesn't come in and say, hey,
you guys want to stop?
You want to chill the fuck out? Because we got a lot of money to make.
Yeah, and we're already falling apart at the seams as is over the last couple of years. Yeah, man, the NCAA is trash.
They're getting exposed. They're exposing themselves, and they opened they opened that box, man. I mean, that NIL deal. Everybody always wondered, what would happen if they did it, and they did it.
Right.
You're seeing, and they haven't given it a limit. Now, what makes me wonder is, will they? And if they do, what will it be?
Yeah.
And can it match what may be coming on the horizon? Because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Like, no sporting news, no podcast, nothing. So I want to. Go ahead.
because I don't think it'll ever be able to match what's on the horizon because that's an organization. Whereas the NCAA is the NIA deals is just whoever fucking wants to pay whoever the most amount of money, whether it's a donor or it's Mark Wahlberg giving cars from his fucking dealership or
but that's the new norm.
A rich alumni. Do what?
That's the new norm about it. Because I mean, it's just
not everybody gets those. Like you're talking your top fucking recruits, whereas what's on the horizon is an organization. You've got teams of multiple players. That's going to be a way bigger deal. So,
I mean, I would agree. It's just if the NCAA caps it, because if they don't, I mean, these guys might. I mean, some of them are already making more than what their rookie contract might be. Like they're on the way.
My thing is, so when it comes to college football, not to take away from other college sports like basketball and pretty much only basketball. When you think of these big schools, they're only big because of their athletics and for the most part, excluding Stanford and Harvard and a couple Ivy League schools, but these other schools are known because of their sports. So
Absolutely.
Their sports program is what's making this school the majority of its money through ticket sales, memorabilia, like anything with that school's name on it. Because I'm an OSU fan or I'm a Bama fan, you buy all these OSU hoodies, right? Whether it's football or not, you buy all these OSU hats and shirts and shit like that. The school's getting money for that.
Absolutely.
And the school's big because of the OSU football program. It's not because of swimming, lacrosse. It's not because
they got a good hockey team,
basketball team.
I mean, they do.
Team.
Majority,
so when
yes.
you think of these players are what make up these teams. And for the longest time you're getting a free education. You're getting this, you're getting that. Well, that's all fine and good. But you take what that education's worth as far as what you would be paying in the education and what each individual player has made that school in the 2 to 3 to 4 years that they've been there.
Right.
And the difference is insane. You know what I mean? I'm not saying every player on that football team has made that school that much money, but I'm talking like your top recruits, your Zeke Elliott's, your Denzel Wards and shit like that. I'm talking your big money guys that are bringing in millions of jersey sales and everything else like that. So for the NCAA to sit here and pretend like, well, the students are making out great because they're getting a free college degree that most of them don't even fucking finish.
Bingo. That's what I was going to get to.
Jerome Bettis just finished his bachelor's degree last week. Jerome Bettis just finished his bachelor's degree.
And what was it in? What was it in?
I don't fucking know. Nothing.
You don't know?
Eating. I don't know. So it's.
But that's the real nature of it. Most of them don't. Well, most of the football players, because they come the closest probably, because they're there for 3 years guaranteed. Whereas like your basketball players there for maybe one semester.
Right.
You know, I've always said that the basketball should be there for at least 2 and have to have a associates before they leave.
Yeah.
But I mean, that ain't gonna happen. They make way too much money.
Well, that's the thing, because the kids are only going there so that they can get onto the, a lot of these kids that are coming in as athletes, star athletes, are only going to college so that they can move on to that professional career. Their end game isn't to be a star college player.
Well, I don't know if you know what the NBA has done. Well, yeah, but I don't know if you know what the NBA has done with their like minor league developmental.
Yeah.
Those guys can get a contract and they can play in that league, and they get paid, to play, and that is their year of eligibility. Like,
yeah.
So they can go play in a minor league NBA, get paid, six figures. I'm not talking it's like fucking side hustle,
No, it's actual livable luxury money.
Yeah.
It's
After
real
taxes, it's
dollars.
still, it's like good
Yeah.
money. And then, boom, they go to the NBA the next year
That's
because
what,
they're the number one pick.
Melo Ball did.
Yeah, well, he went overseas. Yeah. But you can do that
That's
route
right.
too. And
Right.
it's much better there. Like, you're probably
Yeah.
getting paid pretty damn good money.
As long
to
as
do
you're not
that.
stealing like he was.
Yeah. He was doing some stupid shit.
They was liable to cut his hands off, man.
If it was now, he'd be getting that Brittany Griner treatment, getting captured basically and not let loose.
It could have got ugly fast because that government was like, "Oh no, he's ours now."
Griner's, I don't know what's going on with that situation. I saw that she got denied 3 visits by the U.S. Embassy.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? That'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, she is currently in Russian jail, prison.
Bad place to be.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially right now.
We don't negotiate with terrorists, and right now, Russia's looking pretty terroristic.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a month, 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
We
know.
just
It's a
signed that
joke,
$40
though,
billion
because-
boom. So they got 40 bill from us after
Who,
Russia said
Ukraine or Russia?
Yeah, Ukraine got 40. Yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
giving Russia 40 bill.
I don't know
what doing.
I don't know why people are acting like we haven't given them both money, but
I don't think we've given
Russia
any
more
money
than
to much, like, not recently.
no, not
Don't
the
act
last 2
like we're
years.
right. Don't act like we're clean or anything. But
Hmm.
speaking of, did you see the video of Bush?
I saw it, but I didn't watch it. What was it?
So he was giving a speech. I don't know if it was a graduation speech or what it was.
That'd
I
been
don't know.
dope.
But he got into how Russia has done this, that, and this, and now basically they have occupied, and he said Iraq instead of Ukraine. So and in the video, you saw the video I posted.
Yeah.
After he said it, he went, and it got me like real bad.
Oh yeah.
I started laughing real hard. It sounded like Butthead, like
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just made me chuckle because he knew he was like, shit, I kind of outed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was trying to say that Russia was occupying Ukraine illegally, and it was basically terroristic. But he then said Iraq, and so which we did, kind of.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. He's not 100% wrong.
But, whatever. I don't know. That whole situation was funny, though.
I feel like that situation's probably not going to go on much longer.
What? Ukraine?
It's like it like dies down and then it ramps up and dies down and ramps up.
Yeah, from my understanding, everything I'm reading, basically they're kind of like, all right, you guys have embarrassed us enough.
Basically, yeah.
That was essentially
because it
what
was
I got.
embarrassing. Yes, this is what most people before a war with directly involving Russia.
Right.
People thought Russia were just not to be fucked with. You've got the Russian special forces, the Spetsnaz. Russia's just these cold, mean motherfuckers. I don't think so. Not anymore.
Well,
Doesn't seem like it.
they're doing
Ukraine,
it right.
A
A lot of the
like
dudes
us taking over Puerto Rico.
Whoa! Don't say that.
Well,
But-
they're already Puerto Rico is basically the United States, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, there's conspiracy theories out there, and I'm not getting into that. We ain't feeding that. But that's what that's what they think is fueling why they're doing it, and who knows?
What?
I mean, why Russia is invading Ukraine. That's some of the conspiracy theories. It's why. So, whatever.
Oh,
because they think Putin's
crazy.
No. He's on his way out.
Oh, he might be.
But who knows, man?
I doubt
and
it.
And those are Yahoo headlines. Like, I'm getting on Yahoo. What's the news? What the fuck?
Right.
But then it's the same shit. Yeah. Who knows? Media's crazy, dude. It's hard.
Just a little.
It's hard to read now, because I'm like, dude.
It's just so much.
I feel like our generation, for the most part, can read through it.
Yeah.
But if my parents were computer tech savvy, I don't know. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh, I read this."
Well, right. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
My parents still watch the nightly news, so who knows, man?
Yeah, I mean, back in the good old days when it literally was just what was
that's
going
all it
on
was
in your area, just what was happening. There's this
accident,
this. I think.
Yeah. And then in the CBS nightly news, the national news, they watch that religiously.
But even then, that was still just reporting on the news. We're one of the only countries that is doing what we're doing now with our news, where it's sensationalized, whereas other countries still is just this was going on today in Texas, in the United States. You know what I mean? They're just saying the news. There's a tornado that destroyed half of Texas in the United States, in case you care. And you live in UK or somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like our news. The way our news is not the same as it is other places. We've done that. They've done that to the news. So they've turned it into a money machine instead of just some dude in a monotone voice reading off a prompter what happened across the country.
Right. I don't know, man. Who knows? But anyways, back on track here. The XFL has you gave me the old George Bush laugh right there. So anyways, the XFL signed a deal with Disney and ESPN. Essentially, they have rights to the XFL and to broadcast them. That's pretty fucking substantial.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money. Disney has a lot of viewers. ESPN has a ton of viewers. That's football in the off season. And it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson behind it. Who's not going to support it?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Well, I know how your stance towards Dwayne.
It's cool, man, but it's just
he's just too.
That whole bullshit during the Super Bowl was just disgusting. I don't give a fuck about you. You played football for half a second. And
right.
None of it was in the NFL.
Well, he's got to get that camera time, dog.
He's the biggest male superstar, action star, whatever, in the world.
He's the biggest movie star in the world. He's made the most money.
That's right. That's cool. This is the Super Bowl. I don't want to see your fucking face.
Well, he's also WWF superstar. So
still don't want to see his face.
But I get it.
Super Bowl.
Right.
They made it. They turned, and I feel like it's because it was in LA. They made it a fucking show because it's
a Hollywood show. That's fine,
man.
Dude,
no.
Why? No. Why not? Why not?
I'd rather see a college marching band go out on the field prior to the game before the national anthem. I don't need Dwayne "Rock" Johnson in too tight clothes out on the field. I could see your nipples through your sweater, dog. Get out of here.
My man.
We're good.
He went for the nipples.
Good. I'm just saying. I could have done without all that. It was worse than the halftime show.
I thought the fit was dope. The color was a little off.
I mean, it's not. He could have been wearing anything. I'd still be hating. It's just I don't need him in my football. Like, I don't want you, Black Adam. I don't want you in my football. You know what I mean? you stay on the big
Black
screen.
Adam into this.
You stay on the big screen. I want to watch football now. I don't want you here. I'll change the channel if I want to see your bitch ass.
This dude brought poor ass Black Adam, dude. They ain't even done anything yet, dude.
Oh God, I can't handle it, man. I was literally like pissed off when I found out he was going to be doing a pre-show for the Super Bowl. I was just like, no,
Dwayne again.
Yes.
Haven't we seen enough?
That is literally how I felt. I was like, we've had enough of this guy.
This show of Entourage football. What was that? Playmaker. No, it wasn't Playmaker. Yeah. What the fuck
oh gosh, that's gonna kill me.
I gotta look it up myself. But no, that show, man. I loved Entourage, but that show was
Ballers. Ballers was really good. I liked Ballers, but it wasn't real.
Dude, it just was Entourage Part 2.0.
For sure. Oh, 100%. But
which just, some of it was cool. That first season, you were like, "Oh, it's got the Lil Wayne, Drake." You know, you were like, "Hell yeah!" But
I thought it was a cool.
The first season was cool, but it didn't build on it. It was just the same shit, and you were like,
"Well, yeah,
what are we doing?" And then it abruptly ended.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, "Hey, weird. Well, Dwayne asked for a price." You know, and HBO was like,
"We can't afford you."
We like Ballers to end now.
Yeah, we like Ballers, but not that much.
We'll pay to end it now.
Yeah, right.
You know? And
but that's what happens when you're him. Like, he has to make a business decision at some point with all the movies that he's doing and how much he's getting paid to do those. Does it make sense for him to try to shoot Ballers?
No.
If they're not going to pay, at a certain point, as you get better at what you do and you're worth whatever somebody's going to pay you. So if all these movie companies are paying him to make these movies that he's making literally like back to back to back,
right?
You say, hey, this is my price because this is what they're paying me. Could you pay this? And they're like, not even fucking close, dude. That's Netflix money. HBO's like, no.
We were there in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're not there anymore, Well, Netflix is on its way down too.
Yeah, they are. But I think that'll give rise to a couple of these other any new like places like Netflix, but like Hulu, HBO Max, Sling, like shit like that. Well, not Sling sucks ass, but
yeah. But like like Hulu. Peacock is. Obviously it's got the WWE on it, but the other shit on it is actually good. Right, it's like $6 a month.
Yeah, Peacock's cheap, and it has because Peacock is also Paramount, or is Paramount its own app?
Paramount's own app, but Paramount's not bad. That's what I was getting ready to get into. Like I got that, and I was like, this is pretty good. Like I can watch 1883, the spinoff or the prequel to Yellowstone, and then
it's so good.
It has that other show now on there with Miles Teller, the Godfather show, like how they made the Godfather.
Yep,
I started watching that. It so far seems all right, but I haven't. I need to sit down and watch an episode. But Paramount's not bad. Hulu's always good. We got the live television because her parents have they bought the live television, so it's nice. Like regular old Hulu's, it's not bad, but I don't know. I don't watch a lot of the side shit except at that Pam and Tommy show, which that show was pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard a couple people say that was really good.
The second episode was a little wild. Tommy was talking to little Tommy. Like it was wild. If you haven't seen it yet, it's not bad.
I haven't seen it.
All right. And then the main character is Seth Rogen, which is fucking always spot on.
Oh yeah, Seth Rogen's good.
But yeah, the show's really good. The guy who plays Tommy is Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
And like I can't. When I first looked at him, I was like, "Hold up, you're the same people?" Because Bucky was like Jack Diesel, and I mean, as I do that, I'm not Jack Diesel, but but he's in the show as Tommy, and Tommy's like Stick. I mean,
right,
like little dude. So that was just like a weird, like, what the fuck's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, those two shows are good. But back to the XFL and ESPN. That's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made. It's a secondary off-season NFL, and with Dwayne there, and I mean, the NFL's already invested. I think they've given them refs safety protocols, and they're sharing ideas like such during that. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting. Like I think, and like we were saying, these secondary leagues, I wouldn't be surprised if XFL gets subsidized by the NFL some point. I mean, down the line, like 8 to 10 years. It turns
into like a minor league for NFL players.
Bingo.
Just like with baseball.
But here's the great thing. The guys that wouldn't get drafted could continue to play on in a secondary league and make pretty damn good money.
Well, make pretty damn good money, even if there's some of those players that can play on that just needed like another year or two to develop their skill, and then boom, now you're ready for an NFL team. Or maybe you just didn't have a good showing in the draft and nobody picked you up or whatever, but you have amazing potential, or you were injured. You were an all-star in college, but you got injured your last year and it put you in a bad position. So I think there's a lot of good benefits of it that could,
right. I guess what I was
good players.
Yeah. I guess what I was getting at is eventually it be the filter. Like there would be no college football anymore.
Well, right. Yeah.
And the XFL would basically, I don't know how they would do it, draft out of high school or recruit maybe themselves.
Because the thing is, the XFL would have to be massive. Because you have to think of the funnel from high school to actually starting on a D2 to D1 college team, and then that funnel to NFL.
Right. I would think you could have it like a college, like NCAA football, where they have like 139 teams.
Yeah.
I don't know, total. But have them spread out. Basically, how NCAA does it. Excuse me. And they basically recruit, except instead of Pac-12, Big Ten, all that shit, you would have one XFL. Right. And you have the divisions, but at the end of the year, like we do, you have, instead of 4, let's do 16. Or like the NFL playoffs, you know how they do. Or either do 8 and have that playoff. I mean, that would be fucking dope. I would watch that.
Yeah.
I would put 16-cent, 16-leg parlays on it. You know what I'm saying? I would watch it. There's no doubt about it. And it would have an element that the NFL kind of wouldn't, by just how massive it is.
Yeah.
Like, that, essentially you're taking college football and making it professional. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know how, if like the XFL gets a deal with college sports and they just take over, like the overhead, you know, like, hey, okay, we're going to rank the teams. We're going to do this. It's our league now, but you still recruit and do your thing. But your players are paid.
I'd rather do that than that. Like you'll, I guess you'd still have your NCAA for other sports, like basketball, baseball, softball, that other shit. But as far as the football side of things go, yeah,
I don't see.
It wouldn't. Yeah,
I don't see how it wouldn't.
because the NCAA is not doing anything great. You know what I mean? Not football
Well,
wise.
no, I mean they're making a shit ton of money off of it.
Well, right.
I mean, but
They're
that's
not
easy
doing anything to better
to enhance it. Yeah,
Right.
like ESPN has the playoff system, and then it happens, and you're like, okay, 4 teams, woo! It's the same fucking 3 every year. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's even this shit out, which they've kind of already done with the NIL deal.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
players are going to get bought out, and they're going to go to these random ass colleges. It's going to be college basketball, because like
Yeah.
Ben Simmons goes to LSU. Ben Simmons wasn't bought. Bullshit. You know, you can't fucking tell me that he wasn't bought.
Yeah. I could see
So
that.
let's level this shit out. Every player's played the same, but he's got medical insurance, such and such. And he can stay here and play football for you guys, but he doesn't get free schooling anymore because he's paid.
Right.
And if he wants to continue, if he wants to go to school there, he can. But if he doesn't get drafted, he can also stay here for more than 4 years. He can continue to play on his career. It's weird. It's like a dynamic that you make it professional but still collegiate.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would kind of do that.
I don't know.
Because if
It would be interesting for sure.
yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool. Because then you have that one governing body. It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson, doing his thing. Because I know you love him, but it's interesting. I think it's a possibility, and like I said, no one's talking about it. No one. I don't think I've heard anybody really talk about it unless I bring it up. Because I'm like, I could see it happening, man. Like,
I get like updates here and there about different stuff with the XFL and shit like that, but I just don't ever. It's been so long since we were kids when the XFL even first fired up, and it was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be. I remember having an XFL football, like me and Torrin got one.
Yeah,
And
that's how massive it was,
lasted
dude.
1 year, and it was just like, okay, this is dead.
It lasted more than one.
Was it 1 or 2? I mean, it wasn't long.
I think it was like 3 or 4 years. The first initiation of it. I think they had a good run. Let's look this up. How long did the first version of the XFL last? After 5 weeks, this is 2020. So god damn it, that's not what I wanted. Because the last time they tried to start it, the pandemic hit, so they got kind of fucked.
It was probably for the better, though.
Said in the end, why the XFL failed the first time around was because it was impossible for fans to take seriously. There wasn't a market for McMahon's version of football that tried to establish a showmanship in pro wrestling. So they said it was like basically too pro wrestling like.
Well, right.
Which it's true.
It's going to be hard for he wanted to compete with the NFL, and that's just not going to happen.
No,
you have to fit in where you can kind of get in, and you're not going to be able to compete with the NFL.
Right. You're never going to catch up. It's like somebody trying to catch up with WWE now. It's
right.
Like, I mean, AEW's trying and all that shit, but it's just not going to happen because money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one's a billionaire, one's the son of a millionaire, or whatever, maybe a billionaire. Either way, but it lasted. Oh man, I don't know. I can't find the actual answer. Let's see, grass stadium. Nope. I'm getting all of these I don't know. Either way, it lasted, I think,
2001.
2001 it started, but I don't...
Yep.
Oh, no, 2002. So I guess it was 2 years. Either way, or like a year and a half. But he wanted to take on the NFL straight up, like you said, and he shouldn't have. He should take the route of what Dwayne's doing now, I guess.
Yeah, but he didn't know that back then. Like all he's ever known is wrestling and that show. Whereas Dwayne has more of an insight as far as how football works and college football and everything else like that. So
Dwayne might not be the smartest. Yeah, Dwayne might not be the smartest guy in the room, but he's gonna get people that are smart about it around him,
right? Yeah,
which he has.
Absolutely.
I mean, he went and got. I saw the coaches. One was Hines Ward. Who was the other one that was his former Steeler? Was it Rob Woodson?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Just dope, dude. Hines Ward. I used to fucking love Hines Ward.
Hines Ward was fun, man. And
He's
Rod's a fucking... Like, they may... I don't know if they've ever coached, but I'm interested. Like, Rod Woodson, I want to see that team. I bet that motherfucker's going to put out some killers.
I'm 100% honest with you. I don't know if Hines Ward's coached.
I don't think so. And I don't think Rod has either. Not like NFL. Maybe college.
Right.
Let's see.
Wade Phillips.
Wade, dude. I loved Wade when he was with the Rams. I loved him. But the game kind of passed him by. And he some of his shit was just old school. But I mean, in a secondary league, the guy knows a lot. So why not?
I mean, all the football knowledge is there. So, and that's what they were missing. I mean,
yeah. So Rod is not coached many places. It's per Wikipedia, and this could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, don't shoot the messenger. He's only head coached at a varsity basketball team. His daughter's varsity basketball team.
That doesn't count.
But he is a head coach of the XFL. He will be head coaching the.
He worked as an offensive assistant for the Jets.
Yeah, I saw that just now.
For Florida Atlantic, he's still technically with Florida Atlantic. Hines Ward is.
Yeah.
Because why would you quit that until you know if the XFL is going to actually happen?
Right. I mean, I think he was there coaching with what's his name that now coaches Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was coaching at FAAU or whatever.
Yeah. The Jets.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really interested. I've always liked the idea of a secondary league. And then the NFL is the only real sport that doesn't have a secondary league, filter league, which essentially is college football, but professionally.
Which tells the story that I was already talking about why some of these colleges are as big as they are because of football.
A lot of money that was made in the past, ever. But
right.
It's interesting to see where it's headed, what may happen, because one, the NIL deal, and then two, I truly do believe that Dwayne is out to pull his ballers characters theme all together and actually ruin the NCAA.
Fucking unreal.
Which, I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, it could. I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting though to see what happens with the XFL and if it can stay successful and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd say if it's in anybody's hands as far as like business wise, athletic wise, football smarts wise, it's in the right hands.
Right.
So he seems
Yeah.
to be doing the right things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, do you want to give us that story yet?
What? No, man. I can't. Trauma is it weighs on my heart. Eventually I'll be able to talk about it, but it's too soon right now.
No. I understand. But
Yeah.
with that, we'll close it out because it's getting pretty late and this is a long one. So we hope you enjoy it. We will see you next week right here on the cast, as always.
Thanks for listening to the Sticks and Stones podcast. Join us next time. And remember, keep it real.